All right, now on the seat top, there's two different types of tops that they did, type of configurations. The earlier style had a hard plastic panel on the back of it, and then the newer style had a large panel that zipped up both sides of the back. So this one here, this particular seat had the large plastic panel that goes on the back, which is this piece here, okay? So this is on the back side of it. Then the newer style has a large zipper pocket on the back, okay? You got your mat pocket, but this whole piece zips on both sides. The covers will fit either way. This will fit on that. You just couldn't put that with an open back without the panel on it, but you can certainly put a closed back one onto one that was an open back. The more difficult one to install is the one with the plastic panel, because you got to pull this thing off. I'm going to show you how to do that because it's a real pain to do if you don't know where all the clips are. So there's 4 clips that hold it on. You got a clip here, 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 and here, okay? So these just have a big hook on it right there. And this one has a hook here. So these bend in, so these push in this way. When you're trying to get it off, we're going to stick a screwdriver through and try to push this in to get it off, and you get 2 in the bottom. So 2 in the bottom, 2 in the sides, and then the top just hooks up underneath, okay? So we're going to put this back on and show you how to take these off, because that part can be a whip. So we're going to hook top back in, push it up in. There we go. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. If you take your steamer, okay, we can stick the steamer inside of here, and it'll get everything hot, and the plastic won't be as brittle. It'll be a lot softer and a whole lot less chances of it breaking. If it does break, you can run a self-tapper kind of right through here where the carpet meets the plastic here. You can run a little self-tapping screw in through there if you have to, but we're going to try not to break anything. So we're going to grab the steamer, because we're going to hit these bottom 2 and then these side 2. So I'm going to just wedge this thing from here and down through in the bottom and just start pumping some steam in there. Let it start getting hot and malleable in there. Let that go for, I don't know, about a minute or so. We're really steaming here. We'll get both sides. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a long flathead screwdriver. We're going to come up from the bottom. We're going to push those 2 tabs, and then the whole thing will kind of slide down a little bit. And then we're going to come from the sides and hit these last 2 clips over here, and then the whole thing should pop off. Again, the steam's just to make the plastic less brittle, so it's a little bit more rubbery and less chance of it snapping when we're pushing in on it and trying to get this thing off. All right, we should be pretty good. It should be pretty hot inside there. We'll kill the steam. Okay, so I'm going to come from the bottom. So those 2 clips are right about in here roughly. You can stick your flathead through and just try to run it from left to right until it snags up on something. You know that you've hit it. There's something right in here. So let's see if we can push in on it. There we go. There's that one. Try to find something where it catches a flat surface. Once you get one of them popped, this one's off, so I'm going to put something in there to wedge so it doesn't close back, and I don't have to hold it up. I don't have to worry about it snapping back into place. So we'll come to this side, see if I can find the tab. Kind of flashlight, it'd be a whole lot easier. See if we can use a light on this. Okay, I'm really close. Can't tell if it's off or not. Let's see. Maybe I can get around this side. Nope, it's still on. Ow. There we go. Okay. So the bottom two are off. So I'm going to slide it down a little bit. There we go. There's this side. And that side. Perfect. Okay, so here's your bottom two. They're hooked on the frame there, and then these two hooked on the side here. So throw that to the side. We'll start pulling the cover off now. So we've got a couple big clips here. Let's take Flathead, pull these off. These are still pretty soft because of the steam. So it makes it a little easier. Pull this off here. That clip. Velcro. Right, that's free. Okay, now we've got the airbags. Okay, so this is the dual airbag. So obviously it means there's one on both sides. We're going to unclip these plastic pieces here that are the airbag. This part is it. This part of the cover's what is sewn to the cover. These flaps are sewn to the cover. It's not part of the actual airbag that deploys. This is what wraps around the frame with the canister inside the frame. So when it does deploy, it rips the seam out correctly for the airbag to come out. So these here, we'll pop these apart. Okay. That. Flip this back up. All right, we're going to take the headrest off now. So lift straight up, and then there's a little button on one side, and the other side has a button, but the button doesn't stick out. It's flush with the side of it, but you can push it in. So we're going to push in on that just with your finger, and then the other side has the big button you push in so it lifts off. Okay. So you can see here, big button, and then there's also this side here that can be pushed in, okay? That's how those come off. And these caps probably come off. Yeah, they do, but they don't really have to come off. Okay, to get the headrest poles out, there's a little button on the inside of it, up underneath the frame here that you gotta push to get to be able to let it completely release. But it's a real whip to get to that button. I'm going to pop one of these out and show you where it is. So if you want to try to get to it, you can. So here's the tube. So I'm going to tilt this up like this. Okay. So here's your seat frame. This tube goes straight down into here. Okay. The catch and the button you have to push is on the front, right here. but you can't get to it because there's a steel frame on the inside of this that goes straight down. You can't get to it. You can't get a screwdriver on it. You can't get shit on it. So you can't get anything to it. So you've got to, I just bang it from the underneath side with a hammer and it pops out. But in an ideal world, you should be able to get down there with a screwdriver and push that in for it to release. But it's a real whip to get in there. You can bang it out of there. It's got plenty of guide tubes in here. So when you push it back in, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to be swiveled around. It'll stay in place. But you can try to come at the very front of it from the top down through here, and try to get down into the spot to push in on that this little button here. To depress it so that it'll pop out, or you can just bang it with a hammer from the underneath side, and that's what I'm going to do. So, but any way you want to do it, have at it. So I'm just lining up where the tube is, just seeing where the tube is there. I'm just tapping it with the hammer. There we go. Pull it out. There we go. Set those to the side. All right, we're going to pull the cover off now. So we'll start pulling, feeding the bottom out first. It's hooked here. There we go. Here's that. Okay, so this one's going to be Velcroed for the most part. So these seams here, the vertical seams here, are going to be Velcroed. So you can stick your hand up underneath. Yeah. No, they're not all Velcroed. It's just the very bottom part. Okay, so from here to here, it's Velcro, and then it's got the hog ring strips that push in and clip on. Okay, so we're going to pull this on around. Try to get this up and over. All right, now, okay, that off. The other airbag fit through. There. Okay, so now the airbag stuff's kind of fed through. We're going to start to unclip the cover from the foam, which is just like the bottom with those little orange tabs that we have to kind of push in and roll a clip out. There we go. Two. That's good. Okay, so that cover is free. I'm going to look back at all the orange tabs and make sure they're all still in good shape. Make sure there's not one that's broken. Because if it's broken, I want to go ahead and glue it on. Because the last thing I want to do is get the cover halfway or 3/4 of the way on, and then it won't clip in. And then I got to start cutting and gluing in a new piece, you know, a new clip or whatever. All these clips look to be, no, this one here's busted. Okay, so we're going to glue one in here. So I'm going to cut this one out. I'm going to take a single one and I'm going to glue it into there. Okay, I'm gonna get some tools to do that with. All right, I'm gonna take some needle nose and I'm gonna pull that old clip that's broken out, which was right here. One half. Okay. All right, so here is our little piece that is broken in half. That would not have held that clip on when we put it in there. Anyway, that's how this guy wasn't. It just snapped in half, right in the middle, just cracked. Okay, so it's not going to hold tension. So we're going to get another clip. Now we could have run some zip ties and stuff through there, or glued it, epoxy or super glue or anything like Gorilla Glue, anything like that in there. But I've got some extra clips. I'm just going to glue one of these suckers in. So this guy is going to stuff into here. Make sure it all fits in right. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So then I'm going to use some spray adhesive. I've got some, this is the DAP weldwood contact adhesive on my compressor. So I'm going to spray some glue in here, spray it on the back of this, and glue that sucker in. So, when we get glue everywhere on the seat, let's go here. There we go. Go. Okay. Let that glue set up real quick. While that's setting up, I'm going to go ahead and steam all the foam on the top. All right, steam is done. We'll dry this thing out, get all the moisture out of it, and then we're going to start putting the new cover onto it. So we'll go dry this thing out. All right, with the compressor, just dried off the foam. You just don't want a bunch of moisture sitting on it before you put the new cover on. So we're going to snag the new one and go and start clipping it on. So we're going to turn this thing inside out. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with the front face, clipping it into place here. So let me move some of this stuff over. All right. So we've got 2 rows of horizontal and then 2 vertical and a little bit of Velcro. So we're going to start with our 2 horizontal ones first. I'll probably start at the bottom. Okay, so we're just going to line these up and push them in place so they clip. Okay, now the next set. These are kind of a pain because there's so much stuff flopping around until you get, you know, partial way through this and you can get it turned where the back portion's on the back and not on the front here. Let's go. Okay, there. Clip there. One more here. Okay, so we got our two horizontal ones clipped in there and there. So now we're going to do our vertical ones here. Okay. Get some Velcro on this little curve here. We'll set that. There's some Velcro at the bottom too. We'll wait for a second to set that. We'll turn this around. We'll get this side. Okay, so now we got a couple more places to clip in. Clip there. One more here. Another one here. Okay. And then we get the Velcro on this curve. Okay, now we've got to start to curve it over the front here. So we also need to feed the airbag material through the correct way, okay? Because there's a certain way that it's going to snake through the frame. So if we're running the airbag material, this part of the cover, onto the side of the seat, okay, this is the driver's side, this is the driver's door. So the long flap goes to the, it starts feeding to the inside of the frame. So this is the long flap, this is short. Obviously here to here is a lot shorter than there to there, okay? So it's gonna go over the foam, behind the black frame, and then it's gonna come through to the back of the seat frame, okay? It's gonna come through the back of the seat frame here. Like that, okay? Now, the rest of the cover is gonna still pull around. This one still goes to the, on the outside of the airbag here, but it's gonna go underneath this foam here. So come this way, okay? So now, we turn, we have this flap here, and this flap here. And this is gonna, these are gonna connect to one another. Those are gonna clip in right there, okay? That's how the airbag goes. Long flap to the inside, short flap to the outside. The long flap snakes on the inside of the frame, short flap on the outside of the frame, completely encompassing this metal frame with the airbag built inside of it. Okay, we got the driver's side clipped. We're gonna do the same thing on the passenger side. Now remember, if you have a truck, a Sierra, or a Silverado, they won't have dual airbags on the driver's side. It's just the SUVs, so Suburban, Tahoe, Yukon, Yukon XL, Denali, Escalade, stuff like that, can have the inboard airbag on the driver's seat too. So it's just like the other side. The long flap goes to the inside, shorts on the outside. We're gonna pull these through and get them to clip real quick. Here we go. Okay. Those are snapped. We're going to pull that down. Okay. I'm going to push these clips. I'm going to flip them around. I'm going to start pushing them under through the crack here in between. Actually, we got some Velcro to hook at the bottom. Yeah, so we got a little bit of Velcro here we need to set too. So the Velcro that runs from about here to the bottom. We got some Velcro here. We need to go ahead and pull down on it. Line that Velcro up in that groove there. Push it down in. Same thing over here. Okay, there we go. Now we'll roll our clips. Stick them down through. These clips can be real sharp, so kind of be careful when you're rolling them, stuffing them down in there. Don't just kind of cram it. You need to make sure you roll it over and just slide it through. Okay, there's that. All right, now we got our back. We've got a couple clips for these. Those clip down, we'll zip. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna pull these around, make sure we get enough slack. So with the zipper, you don't want to just like yank on it to zip it down. If it's really, really tough or tight to get on, you may want to take the heat gun and heat up the vinyl on the sides and everything. Get a lot more pliable, and then keep easing the zipper down. I'm going to grab it with a pair of the needle nose just to grab the pull a little bit easier. And we're going to start working it down to see how far we can get it before it starts binding up too tight. It's a little tight there, but let me pull in on the frame there. There we go. It's coming together. This side will be a little bit easier. Now this side's gonna be a little tighter when we already have one of them done. It's gonna have some more tension on it. So here we go here. That's pretty good. Push in on it. Tuck this in behind this plastic. There we go. Okay, so that's hooked. Now, all right, now we're gonna really need to kind of steam it and help get a lot of the wrinkles and stuff out. So I'll lay this back and kind of massage this back a little bit. So I want this back seam line to really kind of hit the back of the foam here, so I'm going to try to kind of manipulate it back a little bit, and I'll do that a little bit more when I get it hot and steamed up. But I can pull it back a little bit now here. Here we go. Yeah, let's go and get that sucker hot now. I'm going to flip to my different steamer head, the wide flat one. Here we go. Okay, let this sucker get going. heat gun. Get this guy ready. Dry the vinyl a little bit. Now on the carpet, any of the cloth stuff at the bottom, if you hit it with the heat gun, it'll shrink it right up. So make sure you don't get anywhere close to this type of carpet with the heat gun, because it'll shrivel it right up in 2 seconds. But we'll dry it, heat up this vinyl on the back, dry a lot of that water off of it. This guy will be good. We'll go and put our post in for the headrest, and this guy will be good. There we go. There's that. Okay, headrest posts. These two. Okay. Look down through the top. Find the hole. Push these guys straight down into it. There's that. Go. Okay, headrest poster back in. Headrest back on. There we go. All right. So there we have it. This is the 2014 through 19 for the trucks. 15 and through 19 for the SUVs for Chevy, GMC for all their truck and SUV lines. If you got any questions on installs or interiors for trucks or SUVs, give us a call at 214-710-2565 or check us out at theseatshop.com. Also check us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks, guys.